Hey Tony, what's happening, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, and I apologize in advance for my slow internet. It's very delayed because I'm on satellite, so there may be an awkward pause or two, but but we'll make it work.
All good. All good.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you doing this, and I won't take up too much of your time. But hey, you've known Ted for a long time. You've listened to him call a million games. Just what's your final legacy of his play-by-play career?
I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it, in my opinion. I grew up listening to Ted. I mean, as I've been saying all day today, as you can imagine, this isn't the first interview I've done about him, but uh, he shaped the voice in my head as a young kid. When you're in the house having your game, uh, I like to commentate during my game, and it was a lot of what he was saying in those games would be I would be using the same lingo. I'd be using the same words. And so I've grown up listening to Ted, and I mean, 41 years. That is just not many people who can say they've been able to do something they've loved for so long. And um, he's he guided us through some really tough times. I mean, if you look through this organization, there hasn't been a long sustained time of winning, and he has still captivated ears to want to still listen in some of the tougher times. So Ted is going to go down as one of the best to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, perfectly said. When you think back to having listened to him call games when you were a kid, and then when you got to the Padres organization and he was calling you playing a game, I mean, was that a crazy kind of realization? And with that being said, do you ever have a fun moment of a game that you remember him calling?
I don't know if I ever had a fun game, at least when I was playing, but as I wrote on Twitter today, like I still hear him saying Tony Gwynn singles through the 5.5 hole in his voice. Like I can hear that. It still rings in my head to this day, Um, I and it's probably I don't have a lot of memories of me playing of him doing my games because I probably didn't listen to the sound much when I was playing, you know. So, but I mean, the memories that he's given all of us, not just me. I mean, I'm just one of many San Diegans that grew up listening to Ted. I just so have my dad um, played an organization that he was doing those games for. And you got to remember, for somebody like myself, who was a young boy going to the clubhouse. I remember the first time I got to meet Ted and Jerry Coleman. It was like these dudes were like giants to me. I listened to them all the time, and so um, my experience is probably a little bit different because when you grow up idolizing the game of baseball, voices, especially when I was growing up, TV hadn't really taken off yet in terms of baseball. Radio kind of shaped it. That's where you were in the car. You got to listen to those games, and for me, guys like Jerry, guys like Ted are the ones that really got me to this point. Like I didn't see myself being a broadcaster, but there's no doubt that there are things that I've picked up just listening over time that I apply to the job now from Ted.
And in every city in the United States, it seems that there are figures that are immortal within their city. Your dad being one here in San Diego, Ted seemingly being another here in San Diego. And you've touched on it a good amount, but what does he mean to this city, and how hard is it going to be to not hear his voice come through the airwaves?
It'll probably be harder for everybody else than it will be for me because I'm gonna actually be talking about the game. But I mean, he's a legend. I don't know if there is a better way to put it. Like in terms of the Padres, he's a legend. I mean, we're still gonna get to hear his voice on Aztec basketball and football, but it just for me, I don't know that there will never be able to replace Ted, right? Like I thought about it today. It'd be like if we were filling his shoes, I'm feeling like a quarter of his left shoe. You know what I'm saying? That's how big Ted is here in San Diego.
And obviously, with him moving along, there's a new opportunity, and you're as humble as they come. But what's your excitement level to be jumping in the booth on a day-to-day basis and be sitting next to Jesse and being able to do these games?
I mean, I don't know how you could not be excited about doing the Padre games right now with the roster that's being assembled right now, the success they had last year, getting to be a part of that. Um, I'm elated, and you know, to be honest, it took me a while to get to this point in terms of being comfortable, because when I retired in 2015, I was gassed, I was spent. Traveling was like the thing that I didn't want to do the most. Like I didn't want to get on any more planes, but you know, much like when I was playing, you know, you get done with the season, you want to decompress, but come like January, you start getting that itch, wanting to get back out there. That's I've kind of rediscovered that, you know, this off season. So I'm really, really looking for. I don't know what it's going to look like. Nobody knows what it's going to look like at this point, but I don't know how you cannot be excited to be ready to call some Padre games this year.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to listen to you. Final question for me, just what are you most looking forward to calling these games? Is there a particular thing, or just the whole atmosphere, or what are you most looking forward to?
Honestly, you know what I'm looking forward to most is getting to spend like consistent time with Jesse. You know, him and I have developed a good relationship over the past 4 years, but it's always been sporadic. I'm in the booth for maybe a 3-game set, then I'm gone for like a month. And I know, having done that job before, you only get better when you get more reps with your partner. So I'm looking forward to that part. You know, it's nice. Jesse and I are around the same age, have some of the same experiences, some of the same likes and dislikes. So I'm looking. That's, if there's one thing I'm looking forward to aside from, you know, calling these Padre games, is getting to hang around Jesse on a consistent basis.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you doing this. Is there anything I missed that you wanted to add that I forgot to touch on, or any story or anything that I didn't ask you about?
No, I think we covered everything.
Awesome, man. Well, a huge congratulations to you, and really appreciate you doing this, and can't wait to listen to you, man. It's gonna be fun.
No problem, Jake. You take care, brother.
You too, bud.